are grooving today. Welcome to Stage 2 Stream, another episode of our live stream show that comes to you every other Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Thanks for staying up late on the East Coast and everywhere in between. I am Jonathan Hoskins, joined by my two excellent co-hosts. We have Megan Rubel in Los Angeles, California, right there.
Hi.
Hey, Megan. Good to see you. And we have Long, staying up late in South Kakalaka.
Yeah, I had two of the live streams open, so the music was really messing with me. I was like, what is going on?
Well, you know, I'm glad you've sobered up out of that. That probably felt like a bit of a psychedelic trip there.
It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That was a local band to where I'm at called Mickey Fiki. They are
Nice.
a small little band out in the Greenville area.
They're funky.
Are you going to post links?
I mean, I can.
For our audience, but mainly for me.
Sure. That was their newest single, Chaos.
I haven't checked that one out. I actually have listened to them. You showed me them once before, and I've sent it to Megan already. So we're on the inside. We're hipsters. We know about a small band. We also know about this small town underground rapper who is our guest today, Sean Rodriguez, who's a good friend of me and Long, went to college with us. We all went to college in South Carolina, and yet we're creative types. It's amazing. It's fantastic. He is.
You can be
other
creative
part.
and from South Carolina.
You can.
What a concept.
Proof is here.
He is the other half of TauTology. If you saw our previous episode with JT Ryder, this is his mate, his partner. We'll talk about their relationship, a lot of other things with Sean. What's up, Sean?
Hello. I didn't say hello. I said hele. It's not a word in English.
It's a word in
Zemnian, yeah.
Oh, okay. You could correct us white folk with that.
Yeah, in Zemnian, they say hele. One person will understand that.
Well, if you're in the chat, this is a great opportunity for you to go ahead and let us know if you understand that. And if you have any questions for Sean as the show continues, or for us, or topics you want us to hit today, we'll probably be hanging out around an hour or so. Like usual, Sean's got 3 original songs for us. And we also have a very important game today.
Oh,
I feel like we're building it up way too much, especially since I stole it.
Well, Megan, go ahead and give credit.
Okay, so it's stolen. Got it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is very stolen. No,
Not
stolen. Wait, hold on.
Wait, the item is stolen? Okay.
Oh.
Wait, do we want me to introduce the game right now?
Give it a tease,
about the material.
All right.
Sorry, Sean,
So
it's the most important part of this episode.
This is directly stolen from the Chris Gethard show, in which he had on, I forgot the other guy's name, Paul Scheer, always forget his name, and Jason Mantzoukas on the show, and they spent the whole episode with a giant dumpster on the stage just guessing what was inside the dumpster. So I've invented the I don't have a budget to get a dumpster into my bedroom version of this.
I can't wait to see you trying to move a dumpster into your bedroom. Just the concept of like walking down a street in LA and watching this tiny little girl trying to push a dumpster in her front door.
Man, when this show gets a budget,
I live on the second floor, but actually the outside of this window right here and down is the dumpster. So if I get like a levy system, like I could pull it.
Hold up.
There's an easier solution. Just
2 guys in a
camera.
truck. That's it. Or that.
But so anyways, our game today will be guessing what is inside my trash can.
Okay.
If you want to help these amazing gentlemen try and figure out what I've put in my trash can, you should comment in the comments.
Yes. Do not try to find the actual trash can and look for further clues. Just help spectate from afar. Put your comments in. I'm glad you decided to do the trash can, Megan, because I don't think we could have supported in a fucking pandemic. You going out to a dumpster and then bringing it in your room.
Megan crawling around in a dumpster with other people's trash in it.
This next episode, I will be in the dumpster. It will be broadcast live from the dumpster.
That's not covered by your plan. Right here.
Stage to stream insurance, which doesn't exist, cannot afford this.
No insurance. Yeah, we don't have lawyers, guys. we don't
lawyers, Medicare, dental, none of that. Pay.
Oh, yeah.
We actually have no insurance except dental insurance. We do offer dental insurance.
You guys are getting dental? Shit.
And actually auto insurance. I'm not riding dirty. Teaser later we will talk about
a millionaire.
Yep, of riding dirty. That's right. From the early 2000s. But I'm excited about today's episode. But let's go ahead and get to our first song.
Ooh. All right.
Ooh, that Sean's going to share. I'll just let him take it away.
I wrote this song in a cabin in the woods. That's 100% a lie. I'm gonna just play it. Okay. 1. If I had one. If I had one more. If I just had one more. What would I do if I had one more? What would I do for just one more? What would I do to get one more? What would you do if you had one more? The song will never see the light of day. I mean that in quite a few ways. As I was writing it, it decided to rain today. I even wrote it on the left page, so if you chose to open my notebook, you won't see it right away. What am I trying to say? I contain a great weight in my brain. I've heard these words I'm laying could take away. It's basically how an atheist views a prayer, a misguided, one-sided conversation with their creator. And I'm still contemplating saying it to you. I'm not an opportunity knocking, I'm just a dork who needs serious torque to storm through a door you keep locked so I can say that I maybe adore you. I'm not planning to keep these feelings a secret. I'll speak it and beat fear when I see you in just a week. It's just, I probably won't tell you how deep this well goes. Hell no. Instead to lessen the load, I chose prose. Mephisto. Mephisto, 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 what's this though? I don't know quite how to resist, yo. Mephisto. Mephisto, feels like the devil's got my heart in his fist, yo. Feels like a demon is squeezing all that exists, yo. The red fiend is feeding on happiness. Yo, don't know how well that's gonna go, so be delicate. You make my game texting weak and you're Kobe's relative. Normally I can form the cleverest sentences. I see you when my brain has no premise and leaves the premises. But it isn't just your presence. Presently I think about you when it's Christmas and I want to give you all my presents. But I'm verbally hesitant. My heart's about to jettison from my chest for this affectionate affliction that isn't medicine. But this is therapy, right? This is supposed to help. Writing all these words I can only say to myself. Or can it be this is an even worse plan for me? A slippery cycle till my psyche dies of insanity. On the surface I'm calm, inside panicky. From Monday to Sunday it's just another manic week. But fuck the wordplay, it's time I spoke with relevance. It's time I spoke the truths I can prove to be self-evident. Mephisto. Mephisto, 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 what's this though? I don't know quite how to resist, no. Mephisto. Mephisto, feels like the devil's got my heart in his fist, yo. Feels like a demon is squeezing all that exists, yo. The red fiend is feeding on happiness. Yo, I drew the hearts on the corner of the whiteboard on your door over the summer in the dorm second floor. Hope it's not sinful, but just for your info, I also cast a couple of stones at your window. I almost told you how I felt on your last day as I helped you pack, but alas, I watched you right away. And anyway, it wouldn't have worked to tell you that day, cause I met your mom and grandmom and you already told them I was gay. Now, I didn't blame you for that. I didn't really suffer. That allowed us to hang out and then get to know each other. See, that's my biggest fear now. A week later, the reason these feelings haven't reached your ears is that they're stuck on paper. Afraid of losing the special bond that we have through my own stupid selfish attempt to add something more to that. But if our friendship peters out and this was all in vain, it won't erase my memories. You'll always be my Mary Jane. Mary Jane. If I only had one more day. Thanks. Maybe I can stop the music. Yeah.
Cut that shit.
DJ, cut that shit.
Oh, Sean, that was fucking awesome, man. We got some comments going. already.
Love you.
Oh yeah, it's weird being on this side. I have to say, because I've been watching you guys for a while now, and you guys put on a great show. It's not just because I'm on it, but now especially because I'm on it, and I just really want. But no, like I'm used to like seeing the comments and all the stuff now, and I have nothing but your lovely faces.
We're missing one of our lead commenters today.
But he's one of our best rappers. I don't know. JT's one of your supporters, so
right.
One of my favorites.
Any feedback or any blowback there? I got my homie DJ saying he's snapping and gave you the eyeballs.
Woo! Oof. I'm this close to the fire.
Next song. That'll be
hopefully. Yeah. Got to build it. You got to build it first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a little bit about that song in particular and your song journey. But first, we got our first round of guesses.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
All right. So this is just gonna be a wild, crazy.
It's a wild and crazy time. What's in my trash can?
If there's kids watching, I'm gonna cuss. Cover your ears. This is.
I'm so sorry if that was the case, but you guys should have put him to bed by now. It's late. What the fuck are you doing?
Hey, I'm just letting you know in the YouTube thing, I make sure to put that this is not meant for children.
Okay.
And are more than welcome to watch if their parents are cool with it.
That's on them.
So it's their parents' fault. Got it. Right. It usually is.
Parents.
Like you said, they should have put them to sleep. To bed.
Yeah, maybe we should say put him to bed. Maybe not put him to sleep.
Hold on. We want to talk to Sean about important things, so let's talk to him about this nonsense thing first. All right.
Muy importante.
Trash can.
All right. Only thing I'm going to tell you is that there is one thing in the garbage. I'm not trying to trick you. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to show it to you. And then I'm going to let all of you guys go at once. 30 seconds. I'm going to put on the clock, and you just have 30 seconds to guess.
Before you do that, we have one guess in the comments that was spaghetti.
It is not spaghetti.
Spaghetti is more than one thing.
I think like a plate of spaghetti would be considered a thing. If you were to be like a noodle and spaghetti was
a noodle.
Be like
one singular noodle.
One singular noodle in the garbage. It's the one that fell on the floor. Okay. All right.
Mammoth piece.
You ready? Here's my garbage. Go.
Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
Oh my gosh! It's not.
One noodle.
It is not one noodle. Although I wish it was now.
Lamb chops.
Oh, that sounds
good.
The
fake Tony Award that you give yourself to remind yourself you made it.
Oh, that's sad. God.
The real Tony Award that you stole.
But who did I steal it from?
Gwyneth Paltrow after you cut her head off.
Great.
Whoopi. Whoopi
no,
Goldberg.
it is not that, but that would be it, I guess.
You stole it from Whoopi Goldberg.
I stole it from Whoopi Goldberg. No, also not that Tony. It's been more than 30 seconds, but I'm going to let you guys keep going because you're not going fast enough.
Gaff. Oh, shit. I forgot it was a lightning round. It's an expired roll of gaff tape. It's spike tape. It's a ghost. A ghost.
There might be, but I didn't put it there.
A t-shirt.
Styrofoam. Somebody's left shoe. A ghost.
A right shoe.
It almost was a left shoe, but no.
Oh, shit. Maybe it's
ice cream.
30 more seconds.
Ice, water. Ice and water.
No.
The liquid form of ice.
No?
Trash.
A fake hand.
A
real hand.
No. That would have been good, though.
The classifieds.
No.
The unclassifieds.
Yeah, no. 10 seconds.
One of the phones that you got to like turn the knob to ring in.
A Blockbuster DVD.
No.
A library book from 1990.
A Blockbuster VHS. A Blockbuster VHS.
No, and time.
Fuck.
Fuck. I will give you this one clue, and this one clue only. You're nowhere near it. You're not even close.
JT says, "Is it his hopes and dreams?"
Oh. Well, it might be, but I can't see them.
So it's regional. Okay.
You'll have to tell me them.
You gotta recycle those, JT. You can't put those in the trash, my dude. You gotta recycle those for the rest of us. All right. Okay, well I'm gonna be distracted the whole time thinking about this. Okay, Sean, you know, you don't have to share everything here, but it does help our show. That song,
to get the exclusives.
Yeah, man. Well, that song it seemed really personal. Can you go into how and what gave you the idea to write it and what you're kind of communicating with that Mary Jane character?
Sure. So the song is called, I probably should have told the title, but the song is called Mephisto. And it's important for a few different reasons. Do I go into the personal one or the nerd one first? I'll go into the personal one first. I'm going to spend a lot more time on the nerd one. So the personal one was I had a crush on somebody, and I knew going in that like nothing was going to happen, right? I knew 1,000%, but I was still, it was at a point where I was like, you know, this is more about me actually having the balls to go up and actually say it. Because it would normally be something that I'd be like, okay, much like the rest of my emotions, I'll just repress this and just fester it deep inside until it forms a black hole of death. But I decided not to do that this time. I didn't share this song with the person. But I did, you know, get up there and decide to, you know, hey, by the way, I like you.
You put yourself out there.
I did, and it's sort of a celebration of that aspect. Now the nerd side of it, it being called Mephisto is actually a reference to the comic Spider-Man: One More Day, in which it was a horrible story where Spider-Man and Mary Jane, Peter Parker and Mary Jane, had been married pretty much from the comics. I forget the exact date, but like for a long ass time. And along comes this book, and they're like, hey, what if across all continuities we said fuck that, and shit, I have to go really into this. All right, so because of Civil War, Spider-Man had to reveal his identity as Peter Parker, which was secret to everybody, and everybody knew. And so then Kingpin hired an assassin to try and kill him, but in the bullet actually ended up hitting Aunt May, and Aunt May was going to die. And Spider-Man goes through all these other avenues to try and save Aunt May. And he goes to Doctor Strange. He goes to Tony. Can you buy her some better healthcare? Can he buy us all some better healthcare? He goes to all these different avenues. None of them are turning up. Everybody says they can't do anything except for Mephisto, kind of the devil. And at first he's like, oh, what? Yeah, you want my soul in exchange to save my aunt? And he says, no, I gave up on that years ago because the righteousness of, people who do that, they're like, oh yeah, even though I'm suffering in hell, I know I'm suffering because I gave my life for this. So he got bored with that. And then he was like, I deal in a much more savory thing, and that's eternal unhappiness. And so he decides that he would wipe the marriage from history. He would take away their love and their marriage. And that's what the story ends up being. And it wipes it out across every comic. Every comic, Spider-Man and Mary Jane are no longer married. And that really pissed me off on a deep personal level. And so there's a lot of other little like hidden references. I mean, obviously in the beginning I say one more a lot, and then eventually one more day for the title. And then there's something about the number of times Mephisto is said in the song for anybody who's playing back. For in the future when people are watching this video and they're hitting rewind,
which you can do anytime. Thank you, YouTube.
Just gotta
give us money.
Well, that's super interesting because it just goes so well. It seems like that could have just been like an ad lib you threw on. So the fact that was the super calculated thing.
So, and for those of you that don't know Sean is
great, phenomenal.
He's one of the nerdiest people that I've ever met in the perfect way.
I didn't know that's where that was going.
So Sean's one of the first people I ever met in college that was part of the theater program. And I ended up just sitting in his room with him, JT, and a couple other guys playing Mortal Kombat like the second or third day of college. And that's when I knew that Sean was a unique person, because he just picked some random kid and he and JT were like, hey, you want to chill? And yeah, they were both great people.
You lucked out. You really did.
I really did.
We could have been awful.
Yeah, statistically you should have been, but luckily
we would have
got the two good ones.
Late night Nerf wars.
Oh man.
Yes.
Oh man. Those stories could be their own episode.
I knew that I had some great people whenever they were like, hey, you want to come shoot each other with Nerf guns in the little garden area right outside one of these dorm rooms?
At the Hardin Gardens. Yep.
I was like, absolutely.
So
Nerf guns, lightsabers.
Hold on. Person who doesn't know you as well, follow-up questions about that.
Yeah, yes.
First of all,
you in the red.
yes, thank you. First of all, I need one of these Nerf Wars stories. Either the weirdest one, or like the time you got caught, or the time something that you didn't know, which I'm hoping is real.
What do you mean got caught? Like, it wasn't like Winthrop didn't care.
No, that's. Oh, actually, no. Okay. I do have one. Okay. I was trying to think. Yeah. So there we were in the gardens. Nerf, and it's not exclusively Nerf guns, because on campuses, I feel like across the world, there's always like, oh yeah, the Plants vs Zombies, or just they would play zombies with Nerf guns and shit. And you got your headbands and like whatever, like bandanas and shit. But yeah, this is a very vulgar episode. I'm sorry. I'm going for the record, but one of these, it's also lightsabers. We had the toy telescoping lightsabers and shit.
There was a whole nother game.
Did you have the battle ones, or did you just have the like plastic ones?
It was all of them. I mean, I could honestly go on for hours, but like it started between JT Ryder and Rob Carroll. If he's watching, he did love the post on Facebook. I did note that. But it was between them. They were in a show. They got two lightsabers over like one of the breaks, and they were just like, hey, every time we meet each other, let's just fight. And he's like, all right, cool. And then there was a bunch of times that I was walking around with JT and he just didn't have his lightsaber with him. And I was like, bruh, fall break is coming up. I have mine at home. Like, he doesn't know that I'm part of, like, what if like one day I just like killed him? And he's like, fuck yeah. So the next week we came back and we're in the Johnson lobby, and Rob, with that fucking smug ass look, knowing that he was gonna kill JT again because he forgot his lightsaber, JT walks up and he's just like, I have not my saber, but I do have my apprentice. And immediately I whip my lightsaber out of the bag and I lock lightsabers with him. And he was quick. He reacted to that, but he wasn't prepared for the horizontal slice at his midsection that ultimately did him in. And from that moment, because there was like the rest of the students and the rest of our friends around, they saw that and they were all like, fuck, I got to get a lightsaber. And that kind of bloomed into its own thing. And then it mixed with Nerf guns later. So I guess that ended up being the story.
That's a fantastic story.
And for anyone who doesn't know Rob, and this is not at all an insult, it's just for him to be horizontally sliced is the perfect way. If I was doing fight choreography and he had to die, that would be how he would die.
All right, wait. I have another lightning round, but it's me asking nerd questions.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay. So first of all, since it's right behind you,
what's
your house?
Gryffindor.
Okay.
You already knew.
I know. Now, technically, it's 3/4 Gryffindor and 1/4 Hufflepuff.
Oh, yours. Yeah,
there is a bit of that in there.
And it's the worst part about him.
Long's eye roll. Everything.
Okay. What color saber would you have?
Orange.
Indicative of you. Oh, what was it?
Orange.
Orange. All right.
Orange, in honor of my favorite of the masters, Plo Koon.
Yeah. All right. Would you be a Jedi?
I mean, yeah. If not a Jedi, maybe one of the gray Jedis that kind of, goes a little rogue.
Another kind of Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, wait a minute,
Right.
This is a little extreme here. Let's
Right.
actually maintain order and not be a cult. Okay. I don't know. You haven't mentioned anything about this, but I'm going to take a wild guess that you've seen it. Do you know what kind of bender you are?
Actually, we did this at JT found something at his wedding, and it was like, look at your hand, and the way that you hold your hand, or something about it, was like, oh, that's what type of bender you are. And I believe I'm fire, from what I've been told. So
what do you feel like you are in your heart, though?
It's probably fire.
See, I would want to be water, specifically with the ability to bend blood.
That seems like a very targeted thing. That seems like that's a very firebender thing to say.
That creepy old lady that bloodbends.
Yeah, I'm the creepy old lady.
That's a very firebender statement. I don't know.
I'm the creepy old lady.
I'm the creepy old lady that wants to get revenge on the people that have wronged him.
I mean, yeah, that's a way to do it.
Yeah.
I already made up for me wronging you, right? I made up for that.
Just trying to clear your bases now. Like, oh shit, hold on.
I sent you a record last Christmas.
You didn't get that? You didn't get that box of roses? No, that didn't come in yet.
Come on, man.
DJ, don't hate. You know you'd want to be able to bend blood too.
What did he say to you?
He said, "What the fuck, Log?"
Yeah, man. What the fuck? You came out heavy.
Reaction. Even if you don't know what blood bending is, it's like
it's exactly what you think it is. You bend the blood inside of someone's body so they can't move and do whatever you want. You basically make them zombies.
It's anyways, okay. Enough of the terrifying thing.
You guys don't make that sound like a good thing to want to do, though. You're like, who wouldn't want to fucking freeze someone and paralyze them, kill them?
Dory just said she's sorry that she asked me to do the dishes last week.
Oh shit! Damn! All the apologies are coming in now. I wonder why.
You guys will learn soon enough.
Fuck man, he's a teacher.
Sorry, Megan. We interrupted your lightning round, didn't we?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. We needed to talk about that comment. Okay. Yeah. 2 more questions. One, I think I know the answer to this, but your favorite superhero?
Yeah, it's Spider-Man.
The best one. Yeah,
okay.
Spider-Man.
You know the song, the shirt. I figured, but just in case you were like, "Nah, I'm just theming today."
Right.
But separate question, not your favorite, but who do you think you're most like? Who would you be in that universe? And it can still be Spider-Man, but
shit. Who would I be? I think
Spider-Pig.
That's who I think I would be.
I just washed my hands. That's why they're wet. No other reason. I don't know. I might have to come back to that one.
All right. Yeah.
So, yeah. That's a good one.
I think that's a harder question, right? Because it's like what.
It's like, you know what you want to be, but like, who would you really be? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm Spider-Pig. I continue to be voiced by John Mulaney. He just has a voice filter on.
Did you hear the explicit versions of like his outtakes? Yeah, those were fantastic. Where they were just like, we're not going to tell you anything. Just go play around as this character.
Yeah.
And he did. And then way after the fact, he's like, so like, what's the rating on this thing? And it's like, yeah, we can't use any of what you use. We just wanted you to have fun.
Oh, John Mulaney.
Bless that man.
Megan, is that your real answer though? Is that really the superhero that you are?
If I'm being honest about like what I am, probably. I'd have to think maybe a little bit more too. I asked the question
probably an
Ant-Man. Answer for myself.
Yeah.
I'm probably an Ant-Man.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the most glorious one.
Maybe you're a Deadpool.
Maybe.
No,
with the bloodbend comment? I don't know.
I think like long bloodbending, there's like a dark path that I could have taken where I end up like a Deadpool.
A one fateful night type deal.
Yeah,
I could also see the Deadpool
wrong without enough like of a support system, and I end up in the Deadpool realm.
That could be its own what if comic. Yeah,
exactly. I have the chaotic energy every once in a while to be something like that.
Yeah.
And Dory's saying Deadpool for sure, so I'm going with what my wife says.
That's a smart plan.
Yes, or she'll bend your blood or whatever. That's some weird shit. Y'all still, that's kind of fucked me a well, that was a very nice nerd corner. I don't know what lightning nerds. We don't have to come up with a name for everything.
Lightning nerds.
Lightning nerds.
Sounds like spicy candy.
Spicy candy's good.
Sure.
No, I mean like nerds with like electricity legitimately in them.
Oh,
shocks.
You.
Never mind. I can't say that candy. Okay. Let's go to the next song.
Oh shit! I also totally want to know about that. So, like, how long have you been writing? What got you into rap?
Mm-hmm.
What was that journey like?
What got me there? So I was, the way that my mom had sort of introduced me to music, she had a very specific theory that like she didn't want to like superimpose her own preferences upon me. And so growing up, we listened to kind of just a whole lot of everything. And so in that, I was exposed to so much different stuff. One of the things that I do remember the most prominently, I think, is I had the Space Jam soundtrack, and one of my favorite songs on it was "Hit 'Em High." It was absolutely "Hit 'Em High" with like 5 like rap fucking legends. And I didn't know that at the time, but it was just fun as hell. And I remember I memorized LL Cool J's verse, and used it as if it was my own. Like, I didn't even know that I was into rap, but like lightning strikes, the court lights get dim. Supreme competition is about to begin above the rim. Finessing their moves is animated, and once I get the ball in, I can't be deflated. A rugged bar, my monsters is getting money, but glitz. Yeah, so that whole. I memorized that, and I think pretty much from then on, that's when I was like interested. But I was never like writing it. Like I wrote poems later on in middle school when I was depressed and emo. But I mean, weren't we all? And I didn't start writing raps. I wrote raps in high school as like a class. The first rap I ever wrote was about the Aztecs. It was in a world geography class, and it was about. It was about the Aztecs. We had to do some.
Do you remember any of that?
Do I remember the Aztec rap?
Yeah.
There's a little known place called Aztlan, and for the Aztecs, that's where it began. There were 7 different tribes that came from them. They migrated, started hunter-gathering. One of their gods named Huitzilopochtli gave them directions as to what they're supposed to see. They're supposed to see an eagle eating a snake perched on a fruit-bearing nopal cactus next to a lake. Tenochtitlan is what they made once they saw this. Should I slow down so you could catch up on all of this? The main source of food was corn, but tell me, why does Joe think that Mr. Potato Head is porn? Chocolate. Okay, now before I go any further,
Wait, what?
So the Joe porn thing in the geography class, for some reason, when we were like finding files for like we each got a different group of people or a different culture to research, and this kid Joe was like saving. This kid Joe was saving pictures. He was saving a picture of corn. It was just a picture of corn, but he saved it in a folder that he renamed porn.
Oh man!
And so like the whole
story.
So the whole class like stopped because the teacher, could see everybody's screen, and probably traumatized Joe. I'm sorry, but like stopped class and was like, Joe, why are you saving this picture in a folder called porn? And there was no porn in it. It was just that one picture.
It was just a picture of corn.
Corn. Maybe he's in the corn.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Sorry, not corn. Mr. Potato Head. I completely ruined that whole thing. It was
Mr. Potato Head.
It was Mr. Potato Head. Yeah. I was rethinking of the lyric. I was thinking of the next lyric.
Wait.
Yeah.
So that's way more normal, Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, he had a picture saved of Potato Head as porn, and I don't
know. The mustache. See. You had the porn stash.
Oh.
Well, I was going to say it was very educational, and
then we diverted to porn and Mr. Potato Head.
Porn, Mr. Potato Head, porn. You only get the classiest.
I'm mad. Any other educational raps though? Because I feel like that's the market you should corner.
There was one. There was only one other one, and it was about media bias for my English class. Like the following semester, all this happened senior year. In that geography class, I was in there with like freshmen and juniors. I was the only senior there, so like I was already just like flying loose. and then the English class I actually needed, and was with other seniors and stuff like that. But there was another media thing that we needed, and I wrote a rap about media bias.
That's a very important rap. There's a lot of propaganda out there, everyone.
Yeah. Which is like another reason why like you should totally like make a video or lay those down. I feel like that, especially right now, that'd be a really cool way to.
And since we're talking about propaganda, I want to take this one moment and do a little bit of our own propaganda and just say, hey, vote. Thank you. That was all.
Oh, what propaganda that was.
They're gonna write cartoons about that.
Sorry.
Wait, the only way to make that propaganda is if you threatened to bloodbend people if they didn't, or that you would bloodbend them while they're voting.
Vote or I will bloodbend your firstborn.
All of you visual artists out there, please make a poster of Long, just like with the "I want you," but to vote. But he's like got blood, like just bending all around him, like Scarlet from Mortal Kombat. Just go ahead and do that.
Wow.
Oh God!
I don't know if I can support any of this.
If my school ever hears any of this, I might lose my job, guys.
No way, man! They're gonna be terrified of you.
This episode is now exclusive on the deep web.
We can't fire Locke. He might drink our blood or some shit. I don't know what bloodbending is.
Oh well, okay. Well, that's great. We're already off on a tangent, so I think we should go to our next song. Although I do want to ask you more about your background, Sean, but you can just think about it while you rap your next song.
Sounds good.
Maybe don't think about it while you rap because you might get the words mixed up.
Hey, you know what? Focus on your thing. We'll get back to my thing later.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Well, we'll do lunch about it. Yeah. This next song is one of my favorites. Lee Sin, these sonic waves are on a mission. Tiresias profits the price of the admission. Kenshi, precise cuts and twice the distance. Daredevil, they turn a blind eye to the vision. Though I'll admit I never thought we'd be legitimately sick enough to smoke so many bars I can't quit. Cause I'm addicted to the limelight. Blurry at first, but these AccuView 2 sharpen my eyesight. Cause sometimes the mind might like frights, but I'm trying to shine through dark nights like a light. Bright, tonight I grip the mic tight. Non-believers see a watch on my left hand like my time's not right. I navigate this hateful jungle with a challenging smite. Passion ignites, never surrender at 20, preparing to fight. All the way to the top, no elevation frights. Even though I didn't join the Usnavi, I'm still in the heights. Wanna be in league with the legends and make the crowds riot. Ain't trying to jinx it, but why wouldn't I get excited? Wish I could pop this aqua prison so it's not me. Merge talents with JT, cause we got a lot in common. Boys heart and mind, but with haters we manhandle them. Send them where Simba couldn't go, to Shadow Realm. Banish him, dismantle them with all of our ballads and our ample puns. Take a break, take 10, take Alexander Hamilton. Play right in the game, you get a fandom. You got the right to remain amazing, Mr. Miranda. My devour's not satisfied, it's non-stop. I am legend, wait for it, while I take game with my shot. My right hand man writes with his right hand, man. And if our fate's a gamble, we got the right hand, man. And I'm the left-handed Glover, this island's dead to us. With the right hand of doom, our destiny's ambidextrous. Our devil arms are well armed with inferno shells, boy. That's word of both Dantes, we bout to give them hell, boy. No matter who your daddy is or what circle you come from, you're a sucker, I'm sorry, I'm charming, you're Rory, you better run, you dumb, don't hold your breath. My arrow-smithing level's impeccable. Call me a patsy, I'm inclined to remain incredible. I'm just a British Callista, tossing Britney Spears. I'll never end, even if I see low green for 50 years. See what I did? No, your hindsight's lazy. I'll blindside your mind until your hearing aids me. Hoodie and tie, straight jackets can't save me. In under 4 minutes, I'm 5 times the crazy. With glasses getting called 4 eyes is a sure sight. Basically, no LASIK means forever a nerd, a dork, right? I wear them proudly. Not only are they foresight, all I see is success in our future. Foresight. All I see is success in our future. Foresight. Said, all I see is success in our future. Foresight. For those aware of the Easter egg I buried, I've milked it long enough. Word to Stinson. Dairy. All right.
Hey, yeah.
You made a legendary joke, and wow.
I did.
Wow.
So before I went long to follow up on that and explain for me who may not get it. But first, I know we have another round of what's in the trash.
Shit.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Hey, before we do that, I just want to shout out a text I got. So I told my wife that if she voted for Trump, that I would ask for a divorce. And she said, "Is that the same thing as bloodbending?" So just know that that's a real conversation I've had now.
What should my reaction be to this?
There isn't one.
All right, cool.
All right. Well, moving on to my trash can.
Yes.
Dignity.
For this round, for this exciting round, we're gonna play 20 questions, but not with 20 questions because that'll take too long. So each of you will get 10 questions that I will answer only with yes or no for this round. Okay. And obviously you can listen to each other, feed off of each other, etc.
One at a
I'm
time.
gonna let Long go first though, so he doesn't hurt me.
So
does he get 10 in a row or?
Yeah, 10 in a row. Each person.
Oh, whoever's last, it's a very big.
Yeah. Okay.
But you guys can keep guessing over each other though.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So just
I'm gonna.
Okay.
My first question is it something I can buy at a store like Walmart?
Yes.
Okay.
But like, can't you get everything at Walmart?
Hold on, that's not true. You can't get like specific personal items like that, are sentimental to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, yes.
You could.
To be fair, I haven't been to Walmart in like 3 years.
Okay.
But yes, I think you can get this at Walmart.
Is it something I would find in like the kitchenware aisle?
No.
Is it something I would find in the toy aisle?
You're going aisle by aisle?
No.
All right, we're on to toys. Okay.
Is it something I would find near the electronics?
I'm concerned about your knowledge of Walmart. Okay, but no, it would not be in the electronics section.
Does it have anything to do with food?
No.
Okay. Would I find it in the outdoor section?
No.
You were on to it with one section.
Well, because if it's a toy and it could fit in the outdoor section, she was kind of conflicted. Let's see. Is it something I would find in the reading material section?
No.
Jesus Christ. What other sections are there at Walmart? I've gone through everything.
I'm just operating under the assumption that everything's at Walmart, to be perfectly honest, except something my grandmother gave me. That was maybe too big of a hint. Whatever.
Well, is it a piece of clothing?
No.
Is it something you use for enjoyment?
Yes.
Okay, so it has an actual function. Is it something you would use for entertainment?
Yeah.
Is it puzzle based?
No.
Okay.
All right.
Is it a Game Boy?
Huh?
Is it a Game Boy?
No.
I should have just guessed Game Boy,
Hoskins
damn it.
banking on the fact that he knows my Game Boy Color is in my room.
Is it a diary?
You don't have any more questions.
You
sir.
said I could jump in and guess.
That counts as mine. That counts as mine.
Oh, okay, wait.
I'll
it
take
is
this
not a
question.
diary.
Is it a board game?
No.
Um,
Oh, that was 3.
is it something you used as a child? That you used as a child?
No.
Is it something that a child would use?
I guess. Like they could.
It seemed like a good question. I'm not really on to anything. But
That
I
is
was
a
like,
good
this
question,
is a good
just not for this item.
Is it the 64 count Crayola box with the pencil sharpener?
No.
Does it have something to do with music?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
Is it a music box?
No.
God damn it.
That was a great guess.
Is it made of paper?
No. Good guess.
is it electronic?
No.
Is it an instrument?
Yes.
Oh,
Is it a flute?
Is it a recorder?
No and no. A recorder would have been so good though.
Fuck.
is
What other instrument fits in that trash can? Can we lift the trash can up? I want to see how long it is.
Okay, hold on. We'll do like more trash can related things next round. I have a
Okay.
feeling you might be able to get it this round though.
Is it a harmonica?
Yes.
DJ guessed it at the exact same time that Sean said it.
So DJ guessed it before because we are ahead. So once again, DJ won.
Yeah.
Oh. And now, Megan, for a 7-minute song on harmonica. Go ahead.
This is Conway Twitty.
This is Conway. That was a great game. Dang, good one, Sean.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Been watching a
Yes.
lot of
Long
old Craig Ferguson late show clips, and there was a lot of harmonica playing. So
For the next round, what's in my yellow box?
Wait, that looks scary.
oxygen?
Not quite.
It
Well,
looks like from
Sir,
Monsters, Inc. Like
It
that.
is in fact
the 2319?
a left shoe.
Oh shit.
Why do you have a left shoe in a box?
That's related to a 2319.
There's blood in the shoe.
And moving on.
Can we confirm or deny?
All right. So I want to get a little bit more about Sean. So you mentioned because you're interesting.
Yeah, I don't see that.
You mentioned that you started rapping in high school, but you also are a stage performer. You've been in shows, you've been in musicals, you've worked with us, with Hoskins and myself, on stage to, or not stage to stream, Project 1 and 2,
Yeah,
our charity performances.
Mhm.
When did you start doing live theater?
Oh man, this is probably my favorite story to tell. I mentioned in the bio or whatever that I sent that I do stuff with pipe cleaners, and I make different models and figures and things like that. It was mostly toys when I was a kid.
Do you happen to have any near you that you can show people?
I don't at the moment. I know. I was going to compile some pictures and I completely dropped the ball there.
Just send
but
us a post on social media.
Yeah,
we'll
I'll send you some because I've made a Waluigi for one of my friends from high school. I made Wonder Woman for Melissa Frierson, who you guys might know. So I did all that. That started in had to be elementary school. One day I was playing with my toys and I was like, and now he summons a dragon, but I didn't have a dragon toy.
So you made,
I had pipe cleaners from a school project that I was doing. So then I made a dragon. Snalligan, I miss you. But anyway, so I was doing that and I was told sometime in middle school that you like art, you'd be I don't know who the fuck this like substitute teacher was, but it was like, hey, you do art, you'd be great at graphic design. So in my head, not knowing anything about what graphic design is, I was like, that sounds about right. Sign me up for graphic design. So in the freshman year of high school, I took an Art 1 class. And Art 1 was not anything that I wanted to really do. But one day I decided to bring my pipe cleaner creations and things like that. And the teacher was like, oh, actually you might like sculpting. So I was like, oh, okay, well then I'll do that next semester. Next semester, I do not end up getting to choose my elective, and I get placed in Drama 1. And I get placed in Drama 1, and I'm thinking the whole time that I'm there, like, all right, well, I'm just gonna like fuck around. Like, this is not even, I'm just gonna transfer the class later. It's gonna be whatever. Like, I have no stakes in this at all. So the first few days though are kind of interesting and a little fun because we're playing theater games, and they're pretty fun, and I'm getting, I'm enjoying a lot of it or whatever. But it was this one game, and this is from Allison McNeely's, was my drama teacher, and it was the literal reason I was in theater, and I'm probably here doing stuff like this. And it was one game. It was this pantomime game, and everybody got in a circle, and one person gets in the center of the circle, and you pantomime either doing something, a profession, or like holding an object, and people have to guess what it is. The person on your left has to guess. If everybody else knows, they can raise their hand, but until the person on the left gets what it is, then that person goes out to the outside of the circle, and then the other person goes in. This whole time, it was one of my friend's birthdays, and I was making a model of one of my other friends. Like, I was making a pipe cleaner version of him, of Merritt Cates. And I was in the process of doing that. So the person who came right before me, I don't know if it was just a lack of imagination or whatever, literally just gets in the center and just starts doing this shit, which was literally the stuff that I was. And so I was like, oh, you're doing what I'm currently doing right now. Because mind you, this entire game, I was still like, I didn't stop making this model. I just did not care about this game whatsoever. So then it was my turn, and I was like, fuck, okay, well, what am I going to do? And I believe I started out with baseball. So I walk up in the center, and I'm just like, all right, I put my model down, and I go. Heine. And I said Heine because like my leg, what you can't see it.
Yeah, we don't have enough space.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure if you said Heine or Heine.
No, yeah, Heine. No, I didn't say anything. But I do that, and Miss McNeely stops the game, and she's like I thought I was in trouble. And she's like, Sean, have you done this before? And I was like, no, I've never done this before in my life. She's like, have you ever played a game like this before? I was like, no, I haven't. I swear to God. I felt like I was like being interrogated. Like, I swear to God, lady, I didn't do it. I never done this shit before in my life. This is the first time I've been here.
I promise I wasn't cheating.
Like, and that's what it felt like. And then she just kind of is like, okay. And then the game begins again. We go around in a circle, and then I go again. And for brevity, I go in and I do a guy playing pool. So I take the pool stick out of the case. I screw the pool sticks together. I chalk the end of it. I look. I laugh at the guy who missed his shot. I line up my shot. I hit, and I make it in, and And then immediately she stops the game again, and is like, Sean, were you lying to me? I said, I swear to God, I haven't. Like, I've never done this. She's like, you've never done any theater or performing before in your life. I said, no, I haven't. I swear. Like, I was almost upset.
Really,
so then,
getting in trouble for being talented.
It felt like I was in trouble because there was nothing else being said other than like, what, like, have you done this before? Are you lying? Like, I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. It goes around it again, and then I'm a boxer. I'm in the it's like in between rounds, you know, I'm getting my water, they're putting my mouthpiece in or whatever. I'm getting all the stuff. Okay, cool. All right, get in. Touch gloves. Okay. All right. And then I'm start juking and dodging or whatever. And then after that, she stops the game again, the third time, and is like, Sean, stay after class.
You done fucked up, man.
So I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. Like, I did something wrong. I'm so sorry. I apologize. And I meet up with her after class, and she stops me and another student who was also really, really good. And she's like, I stopped both of you and asked you to stay after class because both of you show a sort of like natural affinity and a natural talent for this type of thing. Right now we're doing a show. And I'd like you guys to show up at a rehearsal for it. And if you decide that it's not for you, or if it's not something you want to do, then you don't have to come back. But if it's something you're interested in, I think you guys should probably give it a shot. So I was like, oh, it's a show. What's the show? I know nothing about theater, probably still to this day. But I was like, well, what's the show? And she's like, Bye Bye Birdie. It's a comedy. Now, me liking to make people laugh, heard the word comedy and was like, oh, that's perfect. I'm down. So like, I was super excited about it. And, you know, we leave the class, and I call my mom in between classes, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to stay after school. Like, I'm going to a rehearsal for this show. And she was just excited to have me do anything outside of just go to school and come home and sleep or whatever. So I go to the rehearsal at school ends. I open the doors. And as soon as I open the doors to the little theater, I'm hit with like a wall of singing. Just a wall of voices just singing together in harmony. And it sounds beautiful. But I'm like, what is this? And I round the corner and I see everybody on stage with their books in hands singing out loud. And she didn't tell me it was a musical.
Yeah, musical comedy.
So that was a little rough for me. I wasn't sure how that was going to go. There was one student that I like kind of knew that like it was like an acquaintance, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll just stand next to him. And she was super excited, like, oh yeah, stand on here and read with him. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think I'm reading with him. But eventually, like, they stopped saying, he introduces me, and I just kept showing up. I showed up to the next rehearsal because I wasn't completely thrown off, or I wasn't completely, turned off by the singing. And I showed up the next day and the next day after that. And eventually she got to a point where she was like, oh, you need, there's some other, we need a reporter for this scene. Sean, do you want to go up there? And I was like, yeah, I'll go. Hey, Conrad, what do you feel about going into the Army? I just go straight into it. And that I just kept showing up, and that's how I got into theater.
All because you're good at detailed pantomime.
I didn't even care about it at the time. I was just like, I gotta finish this. Like, I am gonna see merit like next period. I gotta finish.
Gotta fucking finish this thing. Oh man.
What do you think about theater like locked in with your brain? Like, because you said that your mom was just happy that you were just doing something, and it seemed like from your descriptions that you were relatively shy. And
yes.
So what did theater do as far as like your social life or like being able to express feel? Like, what did it do? It
kind of gave me one. Outside of like playing games and stuff, and I had friends and all that, but I never knew where to put all of what I do, and I didn't know that I was doing it this whole time. Like, I would perform all the time. Like, when I was like super, super young, I would ask, like, my mom would be in the bathroom, and I'd go with my dad watching TV on the couch, and I'd be like, hey Dad, how do I sound like you? And he's like, what? And I was like, okay, I got it. And so I would try and mimic his voice and be like, Dolly, could you get out of, I'd be like, Dolly, could you get out of the bathroom, please? In as deep a voice as I could as a little kid. And she'd be like, okay. And I just like wait by the door. And as soon as she opened the door, I was like, hi, it was me. She knew it was me the whole time. But then when Dad went in the bathroom, I did the exact same thing. Mom was in the kitchen. I was like, Mom, how do I sound like you? What? Okay, I got it. And then I ran off to the bathroom and did the same thing. So I was always performing. I just didn't know what it was. And when I found theater, and I thank God every day for Miss McNeely, then I was like, oh my God, this is what this is. This is what I've been doing this whole time.
No, I can completely relate to that. That's, I mean, I think a lot of people have that story where it's like, and that's when it clicked that I just kind of needed something like this. And like it became my creative outlet. So I completely understand, you know, you found it by accident and then you just kind of stuck with it.
Absolutely.
Like I did my first show in 5th grade because I didn't want to sit in the after school program and do my homework the whole time. They were like, hey, we're doing a show that has Santa Claus. You want to audition? And I auditioned and I thought I ruined it. I was like, hey, can I also audition for Frosty? And she goes, you don't need to. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, you can, but you don't have to. I was like, okay, I guess. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. That's so ominous.
You're Santa Claus.
I'm in 5th grade. I'm like, does that mean I'm not good?
You don't have to. Like, what? Jesus.
You don't need to see anything else? Oh my God.
Well, you were talking about too making a sculpture for your friend, or making the pipe cleaner sculpture for your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how close that you and JT are, and just generally how warm you are to people. Are these like, I don't know really how to say this, like, how are you a good friend? Like, what made you be like a good, warm friend and really value those relationships? I know it's like a lot of people value their friends, of course, but it seems like you look at your friends more like family, and I don't think that's the same for everyone. Do you think there's a reason for that?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the sort of genesis of it is or was.
It's that little smidgen of a Hufflepuff in you.
That's like I said, it's that 1/4 Hufflepuff. It's the first time I took the test.
Full circle.
It was Hufflepuff, and then I kept taking it.
I
took it again because I was an asshole, and I was like, oh, Hufflepuff, right? Because I didn't get it, right. I wasn't completely there, right.
I feel like that's what makes you a Gryffindor, though,
right.
is being like, I don't want to be the other one.
Nope,
right. So then, and I felt really bad about it afterwards, and I was like, shit, you know what? I should, because I gamed the system because I knew what answers to pick to be a Gryffindor. So I was like, all right, well, you know what? That was that email. Like years later, I went back and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and give my honest answer. And I got Gryffindor again, and I was like, wait, no, that's impossible. And so then I had another email, and I was like, no, that was a fluke. Let me answer really, really truthfully. And I did it again, and it was Gryffindor again. And I was like, fuck, did I just like morph myself into one? So that's why I say I'm like 3/4 Gryffindor, and then there's that 1/4 Hufflepuff from the start.
Well, you should be allowed to identify with multiple houses, Jake.
Yeah.
Rowling.
You know,
J.K. Rowling.
If I can multi-class in D&D, I can multi-house in Harry Potter.
If you feel comfortable in your house and/or your gender, then you should be able to identify with whatever you want.
Imagine the concept of choice for just a second. Imagine
J.K.
that.
Rowling. JT wants to know, you know, what has your training in theater done to affect you as a rapper?
Great question.
I think the projection, which I should probably step a little further from the mic. I don't know how I'm coming in now, but the sort of the articulation, I think we took a lot of, I mean, you guys went to college with me, and, you know, we had the same dialect teacher, professor, I should say, the Dr. Reverend Professor. And
I do not recall.
Oh, well, there was a lot of like drilling in different art, like pronouncing a whole bunch of different things together, and like.
Are you talking about LESAC training?
Meisner.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't think you took LESAC training. I think you took your.
No, I did not. No.
I had that with.
What is that?
It was a class we had to take with Laura Doherty.
What is like the premise of the?
It's about voiced and unvoiced sounds. So like the sound.
Oh yeah.
Voice and diction. Yeah.
Yeah, like the K sound is also the same as the G sound. It's just voiced and unvoiced. Yeah.
When I took that in college, the name of the course was the dynamic instrument, and the dynamic instrument is your body.
Oh.
I mean, it's basically a combination of like linguistics and vocal class. Yeah.
And I think that later on, like because college is when I actually took rapping more serious, because high school was just those two things I did for that one class, and it was that. But then when I met JT, that's when we really started like kind of going hard with this, and so that's kind of how that played into it. I was like, oh, now I can say Arctica and like really hit that CT, you know, like before I wasn't hitting the rest of those consonant sounds. So
one thing I want to say is like you have always been a type of person that, especially when you come to rapping, you and JT and all the guys that you guys rapped with in college, you rapped about the things that you knew. You didn't try to like fit into like, oh, this is what rap is now, so I got to rap about this. No, you guys rapped about Pokemon. You guys rapped about whatever you wanted to. And I always really appreciated that, because it's like, okay, well, this is who I am, and this is my truth, and this is what I'm going to rap about. So how do you think that fits into this rap world that exists? You know, because it's not common, but it's a niche little segment that I think you guys really hold on to.
Yeah. We've always described ourselves as like he said when he was here, he was like, it's not nerdcore, but it's like, it's as close as you're going to get, like, to putting us in a box, I guess. But it's really, I think the most important part about it is just the authenticity there. Like, people are going to be able to call bullshit a mile away, and often do. And the thing is, with a lot of people, if they end up sounding the same, I mean, if you're all doing the same thing, it's kind of harder to like diversify yourself. You know, you can color your hair or, you know, wear as many grills as you want, but if you're the same things are being said over and over again, I had another lyric about that. Sex, money, weed, liquor, cars, parties, fame, even nerds get tired of playing the same game. And even in that reference, it's still being true to like myself playing games. Like, you know, even a nerd will get tired of doing the same thing over and over again. So just,
yeah.
If you're doing something over and over again, but it's not authentic to you, that's really going to show.
Well, and I think that really shines through with like the whole mumble rap movement that came and has slightly started to disappear again. And like, I don't have a problem with mumble rap if that's who you are, but a lot of these people jumped in on that and were like, okay, this is what rap is. This is how I'm going to rap now. And it was very like, you obviously don't live this lifestyle until now.
Yeah, we had there was definitely a pushback whenever we would hear a song that we were just like, this person's getting paid for this. Like, this is insane. Like, we could do better. And it's like, why don't we do better? We're going to do better. But I think now looking at it, I didn't have an appreciation, I think, for the type of music now or then, but I do now. I appreciate it more as mood music. Like, mumble rap can set such a mood, and it's such it can just create such a vibe that, like, I didn't appreciate it for that. I was more in the raps that I would listen to. I was more concerned with like, oh, is this clever? Look at that line. I didn't understand. Like, I didn't understand that the first time I listened to it. This is the 37th time I've listened to it, and now I'm totally getting like a whole other meaning to stuff.
I think that's because that's who you are. You are a clever person. You like wordplay. You make wordplay jokes in your everyday life. You know, that's just who you are. Yeah. So your rap is very genuine.
For some of that.
But like, yeah, and it's okay, but a lot of people don't. And I mean, this goes for me sometimes too. I don't really want to think all the time when I'm listening to music. Sometimes I just want to have a vibe. And, but I think the difference that you really see in all genres with that is, well, that's the difference between an artist that has prolonged success, that is adapting through different ebbs and flows of whatever is popular. And then when you go back to it, even if you're not really, maybe you don't listen to this kind of beat that much anymore, like you said, Sean, you're like, oh, that lyric, I didn't catch this before.
Right.
Because as long as it comes from an authentic place, like you said. And another thing, you kind of talked about your training with theater and how it helped with rapping, and you even had a In the Heights reference in that last song. But
yes. And many Hamilton references.
Yes.
Yeah. there was a Hamilton block.
What is Hamilton?
Hamilton is this thing that needs to hire Sean. So if you Here he is, right here. Anyone watching?
Here.
But I was gonna say one of the things.
This is his audition. We're his agents. We won't take commission, but we do need dental insurance.
Dental.
Sure do.
Thank you. And I
ate a lot of candy.
I was gonna ask, do you see a lot of parallels with storytelling between rapping and your theater training? Is that part of it? Because when I watch you perform, I can like see what you're saying, even if it's not one long narrative story. You have like a quick, brief venture into a story, right? Mm-hmm. And I can always see it. The imagery is always really there. Is that something you think about when you songwrite?
This specific time, what's funny is Mephisto wasn't fully written until very, very recently. And I noted that in the beginning parts of it, and then even the chorus or like the main hook of it wasn't fully complete yet. And I noticed that like in the times that I was like rehearsing it and practicing it, like it definitely, it almost shifted the song from just being this experience that I had and like solely being that. And then like at the end, there's like a semi-tacked on thing about Mary Jane to it sort of living as its own performance. And I did note that like, as I was rehearsing it, I was like, oh, this feels like I'm doing a show. Like it feels like I'm doing a part. And I think even to a degree, I feel like people, even when you talk, even if you're not in theater, you're performing. Like if you're telling a story, you're performing. And there's an aspect there that I feel like a lot of people don't, that like they don't connect, but that's 100% what's happening. And in writing, I think the theater, that's another way that's kind of like bleeding out from the page, from me, and then to the performance, that it actually, it's all kind of blending together.
Yeah.
So we're getting to that point where we've been in the interview for an hour and some change. And I know we have to get to your last song, but at the beginning of the show, we promised people a Chameleonaire story.
Yeah, we did.
And so we have to cover that before we move on.
Yeah, Sean brought something very important to our attention yesterday during our little sound check. Well, Sean, you're very passionate about it, so in the song, and one of the more famous songs by Chameleonaire, Riding Dirty.
He has more than that one?
He does. He absolutely does. In Dead Island Riptide, he has a very specific, there's no room in hell, and he has a feature there with Sam B.
Dead Island Riptide. Wow.
Dead Island Riptide. We're still waiting on 2. Please, Deep Silver. Please. We're waiting for you.
Who do you voodoo, bitch?
Who do you voodoo, bitch? That's Sam B original, man.
So Chameleonaire.
But Chameleonaire. Riding Dirty specifically has a very particular lyric. And it just wouldn't have been a problem had it not been a very specific lyric that did not match the music video at all. The lyric did not match the visuals, and I have a problem with that. Because he says, riding with a new chick she like hold up next to the PlayStation controller. In the video, in the passenger seat, this individual is holding an Xbox 360 controller. And it just makes me upset and angry almost every time that I think about it. Until very recently when we talked about it, and I saw that. Yeah, you guys want to talk about your theory as to what's going on there?
We came up with a theory on our check-in that Chameleonaire decided, hey, I already have a PlayStation, so I need to use the music video budget and buy an Xbox.
And then he gets to keep it at the end.
That's genius, then.
That's an entire thing that I never thought about, and I was like,
so we've theorized
that could be what's happening.
That Chameleonaire,
which I could totally forgive for that.
Genius.
Yeah,
he
does a lot of entrepreneur work. Yeah.
The other possibility is it's the day of shoot, everyone's there, and this poor little PA runs up with a fucking Xbox 360 controller, and they're like, "Here's the controller you needed,
Mr. Chameleonaire."
And he could be like, "You fucking idiot," or he could have just been like, "All right, it's cool." So
blame the PA is really the most realistic. Is really the most realistic solution.
Yeah, because he did sacrifice his artistic integrity if he did willingly choose to not say anything. even if it meant sparing the PA's job, and that's coming from a former.
But if he big brained it to get a new system, that's a mega big brain play right there.
That's how he became the chameleonaire.
Yeah, that's how you do it. You want to really be caught riding dirty? That's how you really do it.
Oh man. So sorry, I just wanted to make sure we tagged into that because we mentioned it at the beginning of the show, and I wanted to find a way to get back to it.
People are like, "Where's the timestamp where they talk about chameleonaire? I can't find it."
They promised me riding dirty.
Oh man, Long, don't make fun of our fan base.
No, that was me. This is gonna be me later. Like, fuck, we forgot to talk about chameleonaire. Shit.
I was making fun of the fact that Long was giving me like a 70 to 80-year-old kind of voice. Clearly our target audience.
Well, sorry, when I think of chameleonaire, I remember being in middle school when that song came out.
When goes to the Forest Oaks retirement home. This next song.
With wanting a flip phone, I remember because like only the really rich kids had flip phones. I was like,
You didn't have a flip phone in high school though. You had one of the ones that like swiveled out.
I had both. All right, I had.
And that thing was this thin.
Yeah, it was long though. All right. Okay. And it was navy blue. So.
Oh man, the 2000s, the early to mid 2000s were a great time, guys. Even the late 2000s.
Yeah, missed out.
In my all white flat top bill hats.
And the shoes that had your name on them.
Anyway. Okay, all right. So I didn't want to tell this story. I came out of nowhere. Yeah, I had some really fly Nikes with my fucking last name on the side of them and my initials on the back. Okay, whatever. They were like the school uniform colors, so they matched with all of my different outfits.
But
that's official as hell.
Here's where it gets weird.
Here's where that story comes full circle. I'm in college, close to my senior year. I'm in a thrift store. I walk in. I see these shoes.
No way.
They have his name on them.
Way.
I'm like,
there's no way.
His shoes are at a random thrift store.
I was like, Ma.
Yo.
What are my special Nikes?
I said I didn't care if you got rid of it, but like, damn.
But you got rid of it.
I immediately pull out my phone. I'm like, bro, I got to take a picture of this.
Did you buy them?
I'm not going to buy them. What do I look like?
Every day he wore them.
But yeah, sorry. We just wanted to tell that quick story, I guess. I didn't mean to go off that.
You wanted to tell it.
Yeah, I did.
Let's get to the song, man.
Yeah. So Sean, you got another song for us.
I do.
It's your last one. How many people have heard this song other than us?
Other than you guys, and you haven't even actually heard the whole thing.
Yeah, we've just heard bits and pieces. I don't think anybody has really heard this song. Actually, not even JT. This is as exclusive as it gets. This is a stage to stream exclusive.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go away.
Yeah, we'll leave it to you, bud.
All right, man. JT, this is what should have happened a long time ago. Yeah, this is, if you're not sitting down, go ahead and sit down. And you know what the protocol is for these typical events. Doobie-doo-wop. A-ba-ba-dip-dip-dip-dip. Boop. I was never the king of anything, though if my mom was watching, she would probably say, you always were the king of spilling drinks. Irrelevant. Address the elephant inside the premises. You never have been or never will be my nemesis. We prided ourselves on never having tension. The disbelief of others never needed a suspension. Our brotherly connection went against every convention, and every other duo was simply honorable mention. Lately it seems as if a rift had formed, but if you thought that meant the end of anything, well, brother, you're misinformed. Consider it growing pain. Stress makes a mess of the best kept things. That paranoia for some extra Benjamin Grimm. The thing is, it may be redundant, but I'ma keep it cierto, 100. Always said our bond was unbreakable, and it still is, whether we're watching John McClane or Big Willis. Big Willis, welcome to the annual tradition, an exhibition in celebratory lyricism for the years you live in that years ago you initiated. By the way, sorry that this birthday rap's belated. I took you back to the first one of these last time. In fact, I'm positive nostalgia's my favorite pastime. But if you're so inclined, travel with me beyond the clever witty bars and beat breaks for old rhyme's sake. Always tried to be a private redo, though acting crazy and spontaneous, light in the mood. It was a mask, a creative way to hide being shy. Sharing anything about me, why even try? I never thought there'd be a yang to the yin, or that there was another with the same struggle within. If this is starting to sound familiar, well here's the big scoop. Everything you had written, I was living right with you. What kind of voodoo do a homie do to a dude he don't know but whom he'd only grow closer to, exposing the globe to a duo of loners who always thought they wouldn't belong but are more related than them Jonas Fools? So what it do? I figured if you were hug a bug a baloo, I should be King Lou, and if making my dreams come true what I desire, then I should consult the sire of fire, and that'd be player two. These mundane Mowglis are just accessories. All I need in this life are the bare necessities. I'm just trying to say the way that Ye needs Jay-Z, the way Renegade needed Shady, that's the way I need JT. An unscrupulous crappy mess, us apart would be like a Scooby the Shaggy Fred, cutely a triangle that's isosceles, but we made it right, 90 degrees, kid, 90 degrees, and if you disagree, hands. They had hands. I said it deadpan like Becky did after she had examined all the phalanges from the carcass in the sand. I see now, it's not about the parts of the few. Hold the fuck on. Hold the fuck on. We're gonna bring it a little bit back. We're gonna bring it back.
Bring it back.
What kind of voodoo do a homie do to a dude he don't know but whom he'd only grow closer to, exposing the globe to a duo of loners who always thought they wouldn't belong but are more related than them Jonas Fools? So what it do? I figured if you were hug a bug a baloo, I should be King Lou, and if making my dreams comes true what I desire, then I should consult the sire of fire, and that'd be player two. These mundane Mowglis are just accessories. All I need in this life are the bare necessities. I'm just trying to say the way that Ye needs Jay-Z, the way Renegade needed Shady, that's the way I need JT. An unscrupulous crappy mess, us apart would be like a Scooby the Shaggy Fred, cutely a triangle that's isosceles, but we made it right, 90 degrees, kid, 90 degrees, and if you disagree, hands. They had hands. I said it deadpan like Becky did after she had examined all the phalanges from the carcass in the sand. It's easy to see what's on the surface of the water, but you of all people know what happens subnautica. Like you'll need an atlas, but not the one condemned by Zeus, one to navigate Atlantis and avoid the fourth Bruce. And rumor is though this could just be awful quotes. Whoa, here it comes. I've heard he's a fan of Hall & Oates, and he stole a salt and pepper CD. Alright, I'm done, jeez. JT has 7 seas of layers. That was one piece. So happy birthday to a man who's hilarious and compassionate, whose talent is immaculate, whose presence is a blessing, and that's nothing but the truth. Why wouldn't I want to be like you? Happy birthday. Belated, of course. Whew.
Ah, man, what a beautiful, fucking badass love song, if I've ever heard one. That was truly heartwarming. Happy birthday. Belated. Real quick, I do want to ask you a little bit about you and JT's relationship before we go.
Yeah.
Before we say goodbye to you, I just want to acknowledge the fact that right below me on our YouTube screen there, it says episode 10, which is a lie. We're liars.
Is this
episode 11?
This is 11. Lucky number 11. In 2 weeks will be 12, and then we're going to wrap up.
I don't know what you're talking about. It says 11 for me now.
Oh, okay. Well, glad you changed it. Thank you, sir.
Some on-the-fly adjustments.
He's quick. So this is our 11th episode, and 12 is going to be in 2 weeks next Monday, and then that's gonna kind of be it for this series of Stage to Stream, our live content. At least we're still going to do some live events and provide video content. But as far as this setup of the show, it's going to be done for a little bit. We're going to go back to our schedules as co-host and try to have some semblance of a normal life, and this was kind of like our summer series. So I wanted to personally thank the two co-hosts that have given their Monday nights to putting on the show, Megan and Long. Thank you guys for everything you've done. And also reminding everyone that's still watching, it's still subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to have video content. Still, if you haven't subscribed to our podcast, keep listening. I think that's really getting better. We're really finding a voice, and all our guests are super interesting, just talking to artists and different creative types about their journey, their way up. We're going to be releasing an episode soon with the guest we had, Jimmy Crispin, so our first educational guest. Megan disappeared. I don't know why. Her internet probably went down. Don't worry, there's not an earthquake in LA. Well, she'll come back. But yeah, all that housekeeping stuff of following and subscribing, that still really matters. We're about to launch a new podcast finally. Really excited. Long, we just did an interview for another podcast this week.
Yeah, we did. We are not creatives on this per se. I'm more of a production behind the scenes kind of role on this one, but it's, I think, one of our more important ones as well. For Free Black Millennials, a friend of Jonathan who has become a friend of mine really quickly, Dion Relaford. What's his?
Relaford Lee.
Relaford Lee. I knew it was Relaford Lee. I just
one of those awesome theater names. It's 3 parts.
We don't all get cool ass names like that. But Dion Relaford Lee is kind of heading up the creative part of it, and he's doing a great job. And I'm really excited for that one to take off because it's about important conversations, especially with the way the world is right now. So
yeah. So yeah, that was a really fun time. So look out for that. And Megan is back, and she did. Yeah, I don't know. I figured you didn't know what happened.
My Wi-Fi was what was in the trash can, apparently.
Oh, that was the second round.
Your Wi-Fi just didn't know how to take a compliment. But thank you both. And yeah, go ahead, talk to Sean.
I just want to say, we talked. Jonathan Hoskins mentioned he wanted to talk about you and JT's relationship. I want to start with just real quick. How did you two become friends in the first place? Because it's such a niche thing to become friends with someone, and there's always an interesting story when you get that close. So what was that moment you guys kind of knew that, hey, this is it, we're friends, like this is going to be?
So initially we met at orientation group 3. I think it was like either 3 or C. I know it was the third one. So we met before we were even like fully students at Winthrop. And so we met then, and I noticed that he already knew some of the other people, and I was like, oh shit, this guy, like, I feel so like far behind. But then when we finally did for the semester and shit meet, he did not like me at all. It had probably a lot to do with the fact that I got cast in Lysistrata, a show where I had to act opposite of his girlfriend at the time, and the scene specifically was a very sexual and like very personal scene. And like throughout the rest of my college career, it almost seemed like every other professor was just like in on that joke, because then I was always paired with this person, and I was like super nervous about it initially. And I'm like, fuck, this is this guy's girlfriend. Like I already know he's going to hate me. So like opening night, like I'm prepared to get my ass kicked. And he didn't, thankfully. And I think just through mutual just interests, and, as much as we may have kind of not been vibing at the beginning, we eventually just really hit it off. And I remember, I think one of the specific moments, we had been hanging out a bunch, and we were taking a really long way to walk to Johnson, and we decided to cut through, I forget what the music building's name was, but it ended up being like super windy. It was like super windy for whatever reason, and I don't know if it was just because like we had just walked into this like parking lot-esque like corridor thing, and like the wind just like got trapped in a vortex. But we're both walking towards the door, and like we feel the wind, and both of us at the exact same time say the exact words, "Damn you, Mother Nature!" in the exact same like cadence, the exact same like words, the exact same inflection, all of it. And we both just kind of stopped and looked at each other, and we're like, "What the fuck just happened?"
That feels like one of those that moment in Step Brothers where like
did we just become best friends? Yeah, that's.
I just think it's funny because in the chat, JT goes, "I hated him." Lol.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I see it. I get it."
I don't know if it's the case with females as much, but I know that the majority of my close male friendships, we have hated each other
at some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been like, God, I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah. But hate is love, right, Long?
Right.
Love you,
I'm
buddy.
not going to bloodbend you. It's cool.
You're safe. You're off the list.
That's what he says now.
We've gotten to that too many times. YouTube's actually kicking us off now for the bloodbending limit.
So I know that before we go, I know that JT is he getting married or recently married?
He is just married.
He's married.
Right.
Officially married. Off the market, ladies and gentlemen.
So
invisible confetti is now in the trash.
Yeah.
Were you able to be a part of that experience with him?
Yes. I did get to. I was his best man, and yeah, we got to do the whole wedding in Indianapolis.
So, and I want to bring that up because, Hoskins and I, we at one point were not friends. We did not like each other. And it's crazy that through kind of experiences like this, people that didn't like you at first end up being the people that are beside you on those big days. Like when I got married, Hoskins was my best man, and so I just, what does it mean to be asked to be someone's best man like that, or to have that kind of role in their life?
It was absolutely an honor. Like as close as we were, it's there's still that tinge in you that you're just like, but it might not be. He had friends before me. Like
he has relatives.
There's relatives. Yeah. And I would honestly even say that I think it was like I thought there was going to be some sort of like best man situation. And I think that ended up like semi being the case with his brother who had passed away. I think we were like kind of tracked to sort of be like co-best men. And his portrait was actually right beside me, and we each had. It was a really cool. The videos I think is still on YouTube or Facebook. Each of the groomsmen or grooms dudes had we each had handshakes and stuff like that, and ours was one of the longest, but like he went up to, he paid his respects to his brothers. He had his shoes there and he like dapped his shoe. And I thought it was a really, really sweet moment. And I was really happy to be a part of all of it, honestly.
Yeah, that's a real one awesome move, JT. That is really, that sounds really powerful and respectful. I know that like, I'm not anywhere close to getting married. Clearly, but I know that one thing I thought about when I lost my mom was like, oh fuck, she's not going to be there for any dance. Important thing in the future. But just it's weird. It's weird. I can't believe we're going down this wedding rabbit hole. But like to see someone that you really love and care about be completely filled with bliss and comfort, and they're making like this awesome decision. You are filled with euphoria yourself. To watch that, it's just such a powerful connection of love. Man, I always end up ending the show with some hippy dippy shit every time.
You're welcome, guys. I got him there. I got him.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Sean, you're an awesome person, man. You're one of the most genuine people that I've ever met. I mean, I think back to when we worked together on our charity benefit shows, and the story that you told in the middle of your rap about seeing a homeless man and promising to go back and get money for him, and then when you come back he's not there, and you still leave the money for him, just kind of hoping that he finds it. That says volumes about you, and like that's who you are as a person all the time. And I miss working with you, and I'm happy we got to have you on because you're so much fun, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, we would love for you to be a frequent podcast guest. And
man,
yeah,
at least talk and hang out.
I would love to have you and JT on together at some point.
Yeah, when you start having return guests from these, anytime.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm available.
I think it'd be great to have the two of you on, and it'd be interesting to talk about your friendship through music and through theater at the same time, because you guys kind of went in this real connection route of we're going to work together. We're going to work together musically. We're going to work together on stage. We're going to live together. We're going to play games together. We're going to do everything.
We couldn't get a scene together to save our goddamn lives until fucking Laura gave us one. And the minute that we were supposed to rehearse it, we knew exactly why nobody had ever given us a scene together, because we tried so hard that night to just get anything done. And as soon as we just looked at each other, we just started laughing and we could not stop. Nowhere, I think we stopped. The first night we were like, okay, we gotta rehearse that scene. We didn't at all, because it was just too hard. We couldn't stop laughing at each other. But
that same thing happened to Long and I. Actually, we had a scene in a class, and we could not practice it because we would laugh, and we had other shit we were getting done. And then before we performed, it was like, all right, we know where it starts and where it ends.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah, we just gotta go in this, because the scene allowed us to laugh in the scene. So it was like we could.
Oh, thank God for that. Ours did not. Ours was. This is a serious ass scene. Luckily, in the shows that we were in together, we kind of manufactured moments together, even if we didn't have dialogue or anything like that. We ended up making our own. Yes, no, not officially. We ended up making our own interactions in Urinetown. The entire end of the show, when everybody has bowed and everybody's supposed to be off, outside of the fact that we had our own, we got paired for the fight scenes, so we were like, fuck yes. On top of that, at the end of the show, his character was a lot more important than Mike. I was Hot Blades Harry. He was Lockstock, I think, and those two characters don't really interact, and everybody walks off of stage. And then he's off stage left, and I'm off stage right. And then out of nowhere, we just look at each other. And there was a tube that I could dive out of. And then there was another eclectic exit that he could have taken. And then we both look at each other and we get into a ready stance. And we both just dive through whatever it was. And in almost every show, we found some way to interact, because they wouldn't give it to us.
Okay. Well, JT says let's do a full TauTology episode, and I'm down with that. My people, which is me and Hoskins, will be in touch with your people, which I assume are the two of you.
We got to get it submitted in triplicate, but other than that, yeah.
I'll get my lawyer, which is me, to draft something up.
All right, if you want to draft it up, cool. We also had one of our Urinetown co-stars comment on your last song. Hannah Husted said, "OMG, star." You're a star. Keep shining bright.
Oh.
Well, thanks, Sean. I've got nothing else to say.
Yeah. Notice everyone, Long had caffeine earlier during the episode. And this is the only reason we're still going, because normally Long would be asleep by now. So thank you, Long.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just worried about your health.
You don't even want to see. You don't even want to see.
You guys,
how many I have.
We actually get canceled if we drink soda out here in California. It's
my alarm goes off at 6:20 a.m. every morning, and that was what is that, 15, 16 hours ago? So.
Oh yeah, and also in the future, it's
5.5, 6 hours.
All right. Well, in that case, good night. Thanks for everyone who's still watching.
Everybody get the hell out of here.
Thanks, Megan. And Long, you're all right, man.
Thank you, guys.
Subscribe.
Ding.
Hit the button. To be notified of
everything we do.
Hit that notification bell. Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to our podcast on whatever podcasting platform you use. Look us up in the white pages. We're not
Drink
quite in the yellow pages.
If you want to have energy.
Watch one of my other best friends, Dark Flash 91 on Twitch. Stream some Mortal Kombat. Do all that shit, man.
Right. thank you guys. I've enjoyed it. Hoskins, I don't know if you're going to go off one of your rants again or not.
No, that's it. I don't have a rant. It's too personal.
Should I have a rant? I'm going to have a rant.
Do it.
So, trash cans. So they come in different sizes, but they're never the right size. So there's small ones like this, but like what's supposed to fit in here? Nothing, a harmonica. But then there's the giant size that you put in your kitchen, but by the time you fill it up, it smells awful. So they put the lid on it, but that doesn't really do anything except like attract flies who then get stuck underneath the lid. And then if it has the little swingy thing, then like the fly just like comes out the next time you put stuff in there.